We're live, Coach Bryant.
You gotta talk louder. Yes, Coach Bryant.
We're live. We're live, Coach Bryant. Make sure this is on. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hits and Heels. My name is Coach Terri Bryant. This is my husband, Coach Bryant, and we are one of the only husband and wife coaching duos that we know of across the nation. And so we like coming on this show just to kind of chat it up a bit. And we got a lot to talk about today. It has been a very overwhelming day. First of all, today is signing day for a lot of players, and we're happy for a couple of our local players that did a great job. A lot of kids across the nation in college are entering the transfer portal, and so we're going to talk about that. And it's championship weekend this weekend here in Kentucky. Coach Bryant's Bowling Green Purples are in the championship game again, and we have one local team, Sayre, that
Coach Pennington.
with Coach Pennington, and they're the only ones representing Lexington in the championship game this weekend. And so, Lord, Coach Bryant, and our Kentucky Wildcats is done for the season. Our season ended on Saturday. That's a lot. That's a lot, Coach Bryant. What are we gonna do, and where are we gonna start?
Well, I'm usually a little bit more enthusiastic, and I guess we'll start with the transfer portal.
You want to start there, or you want to start in high school?
We can go either one. High school. We can go high school. Let's go high school.
Or you want to end with?
Let's go high school.
Okay. So let's talk about Sayre, Coach Chad Pennington, and one of his star players, Brock Kaufman, flipped his commitment and is now signed with the Louisville Cardinals. And staying at home.
He's staying in the state. He's staying in the state. And Kaufman is our
nephew.
He goes both sides of the ball, defensive back as well as wide receiver. And I'm not really sure which one. Where is he going to play? Is he playing offense?
Wide receiver.
He's playing wide receiver. Okay. He's outstanding. Your head's crooked. There we go. It's straight now. Representing 1-4. All right. And I've seen him play a couple of times. Not this year, but last year in his sophomore year. Outstanding young man. Great parents, mom and dad. He can play. So Louisville got a good one. And I'm easy to say this because of that. Okay, we love the babies, and we say this all the time. Sometimes people don't love our babies as much as we love theirs.
Love everybody else's baby. Yeah,
but we love our baby.
We love our baby,
and we will say, L's up for that. That is
even though they just kicked our butts.
No, but that's an L up for him. Yes. That's not L. That's an L up for him, and they got a great coach.
Yes,
I've known him a little bit, and he's outstanding, fantastic coach, if you will. So, very proud of him for this.
Okay, and your Bowling Green Purples is back in the championship game, Coach Bryant.
Well, first of all, we got to say it the right way.
The Bowling Green Purples.
The Bowling Green High Purples.
Can y'all ask him what is a purple?
We're a spirit, a ghost. And when it's over, we slip up on you. That's what we do.
Hey, Auntie, love you.
So with that said, is very proud of that coach has got it. Marcus got him back in there, and and he had some big shoes to fill with Kevin Wallace. Coach Wallace, who's at St. X, and so he has some big shoes to fill. And so I'm very happy for Bowling Green. They played South 1 last week, and to get there from the Final Four, another Bowling Green school, battling. And Coach Smith has nothing to be ashamed of. He's done an excellent job at South 1. And, his dad, the legend Chuck Smith, who coached at Boyle and did his thing, and came to the University of Kentucky and coached. And so South One's got nothing to hang their head on, but don't get it twisted. I'm a purple, and I'm very happy that Bowling Green is going to be representing Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Okay. I hate that the Sayre game is on Friday at 12 because I can't get off of that. And I don't know if I'd have went anyway because it's gonna be cold. How cold is it gonna be this weekend?
Well, it's going to be cold. I think the high is going to be like 35, 32, and about.
I can handle that going in there and watching my baby, but as much as I love all the nephews and stuff like that, I don't know if I can handle being out in the cold to go watch them like that. And I'm gonna have to watch it on. Somebody's gonna have a live stream on it, and I'll watch it.
And we wish them well.
I'll watch the replay.
We want. They're 14-0. So, and got real good friends with one of their coaches, a DB coach, Coach Edwards. Kerry, excuse me. I said Edwards.
That's our
coach. Coach Terri, who's from Detroit and played at EKU, transferred and came to EKU. That's how he got in the state of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And a great young man and one of the upcoming young coaches in Fayette County, like Coach Black and Coach Duncan with Taste Creek.
Taste Creek, my dudes.
And so, with that said, we wish Sayre well, represent, and Coach Penn. And I said it before, it's a heck of a person. And if you don't know him, Google him. Chad Pennington, New York
Google
Jets.
him.
Google him.
Google him.
Great guy, him and his wife. So congratulations on that.
Absolutely. Okay. But our team lost last week. And did we talk about that? Last Friday. Our Broncos and our
Catholic
lost and we had all 4 teams in the regionals last Friday.
Yeah,
and three out of 4 lost.
And Frederick Douglass, ends up losing to Trinity for the second time this year. But again, those kids have no reason to hang their heads as well. And I'm not just saying it. They went through a lot of adversity, had a lot of situations, and they overcome. And they're still the top team here in Lexington, no matter what people think they are.
And one of the top teams in the state.
And they lost to a very good Trinity team. That's Louisville Trinity, led by Johnson, the quarterback. And I'm friends with his dad, who actually coached at Bryan Station High School back in the day under Coach Dr. Oliver Lucas at Bryan Station. He was he coached there with all of us and took his kid to Louisville and turned out okay.
It did. Turned out okay. Okay, Coach Bryant. So we lost to Louisville. Our Kentucky Wildcats lost to Louisville on Saturday, and we ended our season 4-7. 4-7. It was a very disappointing season.
Well, yes, very disappointing season. Kentucky has signed 20 kids today.
Yeah, I thought it was 22. But
is it 22? Okay, 22 my last reading.
But it's been a while since I've been on there. So 20, maybe 20.
Well, you would have it more up to date than I.
Yeah. I know there was like 22 that signed on National Signing Day today, and then we had a whole lot hit the transfer portal at the same time.
Well, I said this before when I came on. I'm kind of. I'm kind of sad.
I'm sad too.
I'm sad of Anderson, he's also out of Detroit. Yeah. Number 15, if you don't know, great young man. We've met him. We've been in our house. Real good friends with.
I always get a hug and a catwalk.
Yeah, with Ty Bryan, and he put himself in the portal. But the biggest one that I just found out because I've been coaching baseball today and been at work, go straight to baseball practice at Bryan Station High School. And also with the Stars, Nucci Stars as well, 14U. I get home, I'm having a conversation, and a friend of mine gives me that information. And I go, what? And like a baby we've been knowing since he was.
He's one of our favorite nephews.
Oh, he's more than that.
He's our baby.
Dane Key.
Yep.
Is entered the portal. Me and his dad are real good friends, and you're real friends with his mother, Nicole.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. What do you feel about that? I don't know.
Yeah.
you know, always hoping that.
I'm again. I I thought it might happen, but I was playing that it wasn't. Somebody said that Dane was heading to Georgia because his girl plays softball there.
Well,
Hey, Kevin, thank you for that information.
say what?
I was saying tell Kevin to thanking him for that information. Kevin said that.
Well,
He's heading to Georgia. His girl plays softball there.
Who said it? Kevin? Oh,
Kevin Watson is Cleats to Whistle podcast.
Yes,
out of Louisville.
Out of Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and Kevin, appreciate that love, definitely. But with that said, is when we get off this, I will call Dane. I mean, our relationship with Dane and us and is that close. I mean, we're that close with him and his family, and I'm pretty sure that right now he might be on the low, just not wanting to continue to answer questions, but he knows we love him, and go Bulldogs with Dane going to Georgia to be that, and so very excited about that for him, and a good decision that I'm pretty sure that they didn't take lightly.
Absolutely, I'm sure that wasn't when this is home. That would be a hard decision.
But or even home, and even if it's not born and raised here, but playing here for 3 years
becomes home.
I mean, that was one of the things we talked about when Cal was here in basketball, that a lot of these guys don't look at Lexington as home
because they're one and done.
They're half a semester
and they're gone.
And gone. I mean, they live the moment for the university and not live the moment for Lexington. Mm-hmm. And so with that said, it's kind of that. And number 9, I hear, is in the portal, the defensive end, Stewart. Is that his name?
Stewart is in the portal, but Stewart was a DB. Stewart was the one that is from Alabama.
So it's not Stewart. What's his number was number 9. Somebody just sent me a text and made a comment on it.
Oh, you said, Kevin, you're saying you don't know for sure. That's just your opinion. Everybody's assuming he's going to Georgia because his girlfriend plays softball there. Gotcha. Well, we'll find out here shortly, I guess.
We'll find out shortly.
Kevin said your boy balled out on Saturday.
Well, thank you very much. That's the one thing that I'm very proud of Ty. I think he had a very good sophomore year. A little bit this and that, a little bit more, but the biggest thing is somehow we've got to turn this around. Talk to Alan Cutler today, who's a very good friend who's on 1300 from 12 to 2 weekdays. He said he mentioned it about 30 minutes, and he was talking to a former player as well on the University of Kentucky's outlook, because everybody's leaving. Mm-hmm. Who's filling the spot? Number 1 is the quarterback returning.
Who?
The young quarterback, Lexington Christian quarterback.
Oh, Cutter is returning.
No, is he? I guess.
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh no,
we don't know. I mean, I haven't heard. And the thing when I say I haven't heard, I'm not putting Ty Bryant in this conversation. I don't talk to Ty about stuff of this nature because, he doesn't give out free information anyway. So I don't talk to him about it, but I sort of keep my ears to the ground and try to hear something. And
well, I'm subscribed to the Cats Illustrated, and then I'm on Twitter. You're not on none of that stuff, so that's the only reason why I have a little bit of information that I do know.
Right.
So, okay, Coach Bryant. So, who else? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna do a quick thing and see if there was anybody else in the portal that maybe stood out.
Well, also, what was The D lineman is from Boyle County. I got
Seisman.
yes.
Yeah, Seismer.
Yeah, who's outstanding at Boyle County, and to my understanding, he went into the portal.
Oh, we didn't read. It wasn't read.
I'm not worried about
no,
Bishop. I'm talking about portal. You know, so that's it's just a lot of stuff. That's why we just clicking through because information is coming in.
Today was a very overwhelming, just a day for us because, Kentucky is our baby. Tanner LeMaster left. He's got 3 years left. He was a tight end.
He was a tight end,
and he and Ty came in at the same time. We were at the official visit together.
Yes, I remember that. And the thing about the portal, I didn't realize that the portal started in 2018. I didn't know it was that far ago. It was 2018 when it first came in, and also because I was like, no, it can't be. That can't be right. Then I looked it up. Yes, it was. It was 2018 when you could transfer. I did not realize it was that long ago.
Right.
But then also, with that said, is you have the NIL was 2021.
Right.
Okay, that's why that seems right around the corner. But I had no idea that you could transfer in 2018, and that's a few years away. Gotcha.
Okay, so what else did I say? Best of luck to Ty. Love his game. Hope he gets some help on defense.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So the wide receiver coach has already left. Do you think there'll be any other coach changes?
I think so. I think it is, and I don't know if it was the wide receiver's choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the biggest issues is you got to have the coaching, mm-hmm. and that person's got to believe in that coach. And somebody asked me this, and I go back to Alan Cutler. Guys, I'm not just saying it. I'm talking from an alum part and a former University of Kentucky player. I see it, but everybody has to buy into the program. No matter what you do, you got to buy in. I thought, and I use the NFL right now, for example, and the Pittsburgh Steelers coach. Last year when they were struggling a little bit, and he mentioned that everybody's not buying in.
Yeah.
And that would have gave his first. He was in pursuit for his first losing season as a head coach at Pittsburgh.
And somehow they turned it around
because then the people started buying in.
Yeah.
And everybody has to for you to be successful, because you got to realize we all can eat. Everybody can eat if everybody understands that, and that's successful teams. Because if you are, and I say this all the time to kids that when I coach is, if you Bobby Brown and you're looking to go solo, then the best thing is for you to leave. Because if you're not being a part of the group, if you're not part of the team, you're against the team. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying that when Ty was 9 or 10 mm-hmm. to when the team I was coaching. I said, no matter what team you're on, if you're not a part of the team, you're against the team. Mm-hmm. No matter how you look at it.
Okay. So Coach Bryant, what is your thoughts on the transfer portal? Because obviously the transfer portal, I think, was supposed to be set up because how it was set up before, coaches would kind of hold players back and not allow them to transfer if they wanted to leave. And then it was where when you did get when they did release you so that you could transfer, you had to sit out a year.
Right.
So do you feel like it should go back there should be some more regulation, or do you like how open it is right now?
Well, wow, double-edged sword. It's I'm sorry, I was supposed to say good question. That's what you say. It's a good question. Good question. Silly. I think I like it. I think the kids, to me, have an opportunity, if you're not feeling it, to leave. But it's got to be something, and I don't know what to say on it. It's got to be something that you don't get enough playing time, or you don't get this. There's got to be a board or standards that you go by. And it's a hard question because I think you have the right to
If you're not
decide.
happy, just
You have the right. I mean,
Yeah.
coaches are not happy. They
if
do it
the
all the
coaches
time.
aren't happy, they bounce.
They bounce, and if the money ain't right, they bounce.
They're out.
The thing with the transfer portal also is it's hand in hand with NIL. They are together. They are together because it's sort of like you need to get your worth. If your worth ain't there, then you need to go find your worth. And then I'm saying, where's the loyalty to the team? So I'm sort of backpedaling. I'm sort of being a DB right now because that's a hard question because I've heard great arguments
On both
sides.
sides.
I've heard great arguments that makes you go, and I think the difference is, and I say this all the time, and people know I say it, there's a difference between a $500 attorney and a $5,000 attorney. So if a $5,000 attorney saying it should be changed, they can convince me.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So I don't know if I answered your question or gave you a Ronald Reagan
You gave
answer.
me a Ronald Reagan answer.
Okay.
You gave me a Ronald Reagan
I gave you
answer.
a answer.
Well, I'm kind of torn.
That's a Ronald Reagan answer.
I'm kind of torn, and this is why I'm torn because again, it is a Ronald Reagan answer because there really is no right answer because both are right depending on your situation
And what
and what benefits you. If it benefits you
right.
to stay, I mean, if it benefits a player, if it benefits the school to keep a player because and they decide to stay and kind of stick it out because they're limited and they don't want to go sit another year, then you'll be more inclined to stay,
right,
as opposed to going in and just being able to leave. I was having a conversation with Coach Coleman today. And we both, we're females, and we're both coaches. So we saw it from a relationship perspective.
Okay, Coach Coleman is a volleyball guru.
Yeah.
She's done it all. She's from Chicago. Her two sons are outstanding. One of them graduated, and graduated, and he's going to Ball State, and the other one will be a junior next year.
Yes.
And so in their last name is Tappert, if you don't know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry.
And so Coach Coleman and I looked at it from a perspective like in a relationship. Sometimes relationships get hard and you can either walk away from them or you can kind of stick and stay and do what's necessary to make it work. Sometimes I feel like the grass isn't always green on the other side. Sometimes if you don't feel like the grass is green, or if you feel like the grass is green on the other side, what happens when you water your grass, and then to kind of see what it says. So I'm torn because I don't like how just willy-nilly everybody could just jump in the side of what, because to me what it does, it doesn't teach kids how to deal with adversity. It doesn't set them up for success for real life situations. Because so now we're jumping jobs every other week because we don't like what's going on in our job. Because that was the case, I would have 10, 15 jobs because I ain't happy every 5 minutes when I'm on the job, right? And so, but that can't happen. You've got what are we teaching kids by allowing them to just be able to make a decision? And then we're talking about kids that really don't know what's best for them. Like, we want kids to make the decisions for them. And even we say that with our son, we want you to make the decision. But does he really understand the implications of being able to make those decisions at this age? And what are we teaching kids? Because we still have to teach kids about life. And life is hard. at times. And sometimes you have to really have the faith and figure out and work through those situations. Sorry, Coach Bryant.
No, what are you sorry about? That makes logical sense to me. I think that one of the biggest plus to me, based on feeding on what you're saying, is as a parent, I think sometimes you don't want your child to go through adversity. I think that's the biggest thing of 2024.
You don't want them to go through adversity, but adversity is what sets them up for success
Well,
by allowing them to kind of go through it and work through it.
Yeah, adversity teaches you hard lessons. And I think some kids transfer, they don't need to because their future is bright anyway. You know, it doesn't matter if they're at Kentucky or they're at Georgia or they're at
It don't matter
Texas.
where Dane Key's gonna be, he's gonna be successful.
Right. But Dane Key, to me, and I'm sorry, I mean, just put it out there. You know, I truly love that kid.
I love him.
Because remember, I talked about Cutler making that. Has anybody ever said anything about Ty in the stand? I said, no, somebody said something about Dane, and I lost it.
Yeah.
Because that's our relationship with him and his family. I love Dane. I mean, you have no idea of knowing this young person at age 5. You know, I mean,
we love him like he's one of our own.
Yes, and I want to see Dane smile. If Dane feels like another school can make him smile, then I'm all for it. So that's why I'm saying I'm back and forth, because from Dane's perspective, who I love, and that's what people, my point was earlier, you make the best decision you think
is for you.
It's for you. And I've said this many, many times. People can say whatever they want to here in Fayette County. If we had a daughter or a son that wanted to be in the band, what school they going? Lafayette. Sorry, they're going to Lafayette.
And if I had a daughter that was a cheerleader, wherever Donna Robb is, that's where my daughter gonna be if she was a cheerleader.
And I think, and that's when I go by back and forth, Coach. It's because in my mind, you have to decide what is best
for your kid.
And it might not be best, but you making that decision at that time. This is that's
I mean, I just remember when I was at that age, and I made the decision to not go into the military. That is something that.
But if you went into the military, you wouldn't be as happy as you are now because you wouldn't have met me. Let's just put it out there. There we go. Go ahead. I'm just want to throw that.
Of course, you don't say that. Oh, my main man's on here. Hey, Mr. Brown.
I noticed you was on there 3 minutes ago.
So the NIL and transfer portal has created an empowered me-ism and has led young kids to enjoy materialism, luxury cars, expensive jewelry, and winning is subjected to selfishness.
Okay, whoa, time out. No, wait a second. Let me time on this. I will never forget the year when Coach Patino was here. And what was my man that played for the Boston Celtics? Antoine Walker said, they said, are you returning your junior year? And Antoine said, I want to wear Armani suits. And I went, wow. He's saying Rick's walking around in Armani suits, and I got a Kmart special. I'm just saying. And I don't look at it as selfishness. I looked at it as it's been so far over this way that it looks selfishness. But the bottom line is, if I work for IBM and Apple comes to me and says, I want you to have this, and I watch people at IBM drive Mercedes and Lexus, and I'm driving a Yugo. See,
they don't know what a Yugo.
No, he knows what a Yugo.
He knows what a Yugo.
Yeah, but most people don't know. Okay, that I'm going there. I'm just saying, I don't look at that selfish. Me personally, I'm not saying you're wrong, sir, by no means. But I look at it as opportunity has blessed you, and you do you. As of right now, you do you. Because like Walker said, I want to wear the Armani suits. You got a coach based on their labor, and winning and losing is how he got his contract. That's even who's the greatest coach in our lifetime? Nick Saban. Nick Saban, $14 million a year is based on his boys winning. Based on his boys winning.
Yeah.
Right. Nick Saban made $14 million a year.
Yeah.
If they didn't win, he ain't making $14 million. And now the kids saying, wait a second, we are helping build the libraries.
Absolutely. We're
helping pay this. We're helping to pay them.
I'm not saying that NIL is wrong.
I just think it needs to be bent. I don't know how.
And they've opened the Pandora's box on it. And so you can't backtrack. Yeah, meaning you can't backtrack on it, because the way they're doing pay for play, and it should have the pay for play part should have never happened. Although we knew it was happening under the table before, now it's just legal, right?
Right.
But
you couldn't just leave for pay for play.
But you couldn't just leave for pay for play
because you didn't know if that other school's gonna pay you.
You didn't know if that other school's gonna pay you, and if you transferred, you would have to sit out here.
Yes, sir. I think now I don't know what is happening in April. There's something happening in April.
Is that where they're talking about where they're either going to lower the amount of players that you can have, or or they're increasing the amount of players?
No, I think it's lowering, and it's also money wise as well.
Oh, the profit sharing.
Yes, the profit sharing. And I had a conversation with a gentleman in the building that I work at, and the school building I work at. And I'm just about, you want to pay the players that bring in majority of the money, but you gotta pay others. I'm sorry.
Who's the others?
The girls' sports.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Title IX has to be a part of that, and
Title IX's got a lot of part of it. They got to take away some of their stuff now. Don't get it twisted. Some of that is ridiculous.
Sharing, somebody's going to lose. I think with the profit sharing, you're going to lose some scholarships, and some schools are going to lose programs. Like there's already a program.
That took in place in Title IX when it first hit in the 80s. I mean, they took away boys wrestling or boys this or boys that. So they got the girl. I mean, there's got to be a way where one doesn't suffer and the other one profit. Right. There's got to be a way. I mean, and it's sort of like the design here in Lexington when they made the design on near Georgetown Street, Newtown Pike area, and they restructured how you come around the New Circle Road. I can't think of that, how they did that. I mean, there's people out here whose brain does that. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I can think of a lot of stuff, but there's certain things that I can't think of. Yeah. And there's got to be someone, just like when we had the pandemic, there were geniuses sitting in a lab area figuring out how do we stop this pandemic? Because they did. It stopped. Time stopped it, or they stopped it, or whatever happened, it stopped. My point, as I got to look. You guys that wear one of these know what I'm talking about. I got to look.
My hat's still crooked.
It is crooked. I've been talking about it all night.
I don't know why I can't get it right.
There it is.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, because you know me. I'm big on problem solving, and I'm all about how do we fix it, and I'm not sure what that looks like. I know paying players a whole lot of money and then they're a bust that's not gonna work. And
when we paying them, hold on. But Coach, if you plan them, you plan them on what you think. It's no different than NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. You paying them on what you think their potential is. I mean, if I'm a salesman, I'm gonna get a bonus for what I think I may get next year based on what I've done. So what they've done when they come out of high school or another school, one of the biggest ones that's caught everybody's attention is Ohio State.
$20 million.
Oh my God.
And then y'all let Michigan beat y'all?
And I mean, they got 2 losses. They got, one Oregon and them.
But they ain't had no business losing to Michigan.
They had no business losing to Michigan. Because
why don't you throw the ball?
I'm just glad. No. And that was the thing. I didn't understand that. We just switched the subject on you.
I mean, why did you change that?
Okay.
My bad. I didn't mean to start talking about Ohio State.
What did he say?
Oh, what happened to the letter of intent and student athlete? So they changed the rules for the whole letter of intent. You didn't know that?
I know that.
Okay.
What's the problem with it?
I'm just saying, what happened to it? Like, why did they change it?
Well, they went to a 1-year scholarship.
Mm.
That's it. It's 1 year. And this is, again, going back to the power of the school, because you think you balling. A coach can walk up to you and say,
we'll change the scheme. We
don't want you.
We're not going to use you next year.
I mean, they can put you out the pasture that quick. Even though you think you balling, your family thinks you balling, it doesn't matter. It's a 1-year scholarship. That's it. And used to be, when I played, it was a 4-year, but I had to commit a crime or not get my grades. Mm-hmm. And with that said, that was different. I had 4 years and I had a chance to bid. And so, and I keep saying this, and I've said this when I'm trying to make my point, because you did say I am intelligent, which I am. You said it a few seconds ago. Watch yourself now. Your head's still crooked though.
Oh my God.
So, but it's sort of like, my go-to thing is what? Manhattan. If you've never been to Manhattan, we got to quit talking about back then. Yes. These kids have no idea what we're talking about.
Yes, they
because
have no idea.
If you know
their life is totally different.
If you know a family member that's never been to Manhattan during Monday through Friday, you cannot describe Manhattan to no one. I'm sorry. Am I right, Ms. Coach Bryant?
You're right.
You can't. So we got to stop saying this is where it used to be. It doesn't matter.
It's not like that no more.
I mean, I remember I used to be playing football outside, doing my thing, touchdown. And all of a sudden I hear, come in and change the channel, because there was no remote control. My son can relate to that. He might relate to, hey, help me find a remote, but that was about it. So.
Yeah, it was like the letter of intent back in the day was a binding agreement that refrained athletes from abruptly transfer.
But it also Mr. Brown kicked players off the team for no reason, because they had no guidelines.
But okay, Coach Bryant.
Come on now.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate.
Devil me.
These kids today have this entitlement mentality.
Okay. And we know that.
We know that.
We know that.
And so you can't coach. You can't coach kids these days because number one, if you coach them hard, or you hurt their feelings, or you tell them that they trash, they're gonna be in their feelings and then they're gonna transfer.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing. Some of them. Most of them. Okay. So you trying to tell me, if you everybody that's listening to this podcast, get your phone out, Google Nick Saban.
But you know what you're getting from Nick Saban. Like you.
Whoa! You don't know anything with Nick Saban.
Oh, sorry, Jalen. I didn't mean to call kids trash. I apologize. She said I can't call kids trash. My bad. My bad. I am so sorry.
That is the daughter. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. Thank you for correcting me.
No, what I'm getting at is, and I lost my train of thought, it'll pop back, but what I'm getting at is that I'm a very disciplined coach, and it showed in our semifinal game. Our kids were disciplined when they were turning around about to yell and cuss at the official.
Yes.
And you saw that they were. Guys, they were about to lose it.
They should have acted a fool.
And our parents was about to.
Yes.
But I am disciplined. But when I went to the school, what did my kids do to me? They hugged me.
Yes.
You got to learn how to do both. I mean, our kids at Crawford Middle School are disciplined on the field. They are very disciplined on the field. And majority, they're disciplined off the field. You know, when the people in your neighborhood comes and watches your practice and says they don't hear the N word, they don't hear no cussing. There's nothing of that. There's no brawls breaking out at our games at Crawford anymore. And that is discipline. But also, I don't have to be bam boom all the time, like in the 80s, in the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't have to be that way. And what do I tell you what my biggest blessing to do with kids, to get them to play for me.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like every team I've been blessed with by our Savior has taught me to get our babies to play for me. And I said that today at baseball practice, my 14 years.
I'm not allowed to cuss at Coach Bryant's practices.
There's no cussing.
He shut me down from the get-go. He said, if you're going to be on my staff, you can't be cussing.
Yeah, no cussing.
Yeah.
You can make your point without cussing, a.k.a.
That's what he said.
A.k.a.
Tony Dungy.
No, Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, okay.
Yeah, shows lack of
Tony
intelligence.
Dungy was the same way too. He didn't cuss.
Well, Claiborne didn't either.
Okay.
He made his point.
Yeah, so he said I couldn't cuss, so I don't cuss at
You
Coach
don't.
Bryant. Every once in a while I'll be an accident, but I fix it real quick. But I don't do that. Don't curse and don't go against the family.
Is that what she said? That's it. Don't go against the family. Don't go against the family. But
oh, she said y'all need to tell that story.
What?
Going against the family.
Oh, when you went up against, so with that is, I think that's the thing that coaches got to learn how to do. And sometimes you're not going to work with every kid because you can't save or you can't have every kid. You know, they're not going to buy in. And that's what we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. And as we just chopping it up here, is getting them to buy in. And a lot of these kids don't want to buy in. I still say the biggest key when Rick Pitino won his national title was who?
Say it again.
What was the biggest key of not Rick Pitino, excuse me, Cal winning his one national title in Kentucky? Who was the player was the biggest key?
Miller.
No.
Who?
Say it again. Give another one. The point guard.
Teague.
His brother played in the NBA.
Brother played in the NBA.
If you watched him in the beginning, he was me, myself, and I. Just me, myself, and I.
And then his brother had a conversation with
him. Somebody had a
conversation with him.
And then he fixed it.
Yes.
And then that's when they started. Really they were always gelling, but they truly gelled when because he bought in.
And your point guard has to be the
not just the point guard, but everybody.
You're a leader.
Everybody that's playing, like in football, there are basically 22 plus 22, meaning all the special teams. So more than 22 plus 22. Everybody has to buy in. Receivers got to run routes to open up for other receivers. DBs have to help each other. Linebackers have to push. Linemen have to keep offensive linemen off of our linebackers. That's what you do. If your lineman is making a lot of tackles, there's a problem. Because once they crease them, then now the line is up on the linebackers. And that's football. So with that said, everybody has a role to do. And if everybody does their role, AKA boys to man, new addition, then you're successful. And everybody eats. Like being a coach in college now, it's hard.
Oh my God.
I mean, Coach Stoops.
I don't know how this man.
Oh my God. I mean,
do we have a sports psychologist? He needs to have a sports psychologist on staff. And that person probably needs to get being paid more than what he's getting paid just to keep everybody. The game is not just mental when you're playing. It's even more mental. So he's got to manage The NIL, the transfer portal.
Well, no. I'm gonna go even better. I'm gonna go even better. He's got to manage his kids.
He's
got to manage his health.
Yes.
And I'm not saying
and all these couch coaches that always want to fire and they don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Because the biggest thing is in this day and age is you have to, in both sides, it's hard. Players, the same thing. Players' parents, we're parent. And, I want my son playing.
I want him playing.
And you got to give me a reason why he's not.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's different. And maybe it's not as different just as we wasn't there yet because Ty wasn't there yet.
What do you mean?
I mean, he was in elementary. I didn't really pay attention to it. I coached high school, but once they talked to Kentucky, I'm out of the picture as a coach. Like, everybody comes at, Coach McPeak at Coach, Dunbar, Frederick Douglass, coach. Everybody comes at him. And the bottom line is, if you think about it, is once coach puts him with Ohio State, Western, he's out of the picture now. See, and that's this, like when Ty was getting recruited, that was all new for me.
Yeah.
Which people don't understand. A coach gets you, it's sort of like me getting to know you, and somebody could introduce me to you, which they did.
Right.
But it's up to me after that.
Yeah.
To get the ring on your finger.
Right.
Once coach gets that introduction, it's up to the player and the parent.
Yeah.
And if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Mr. Brown said, are the words culture, leadership, and accountability becoming cliche?
Wow.
I think the accountability part is. I think it's hard to hold players accountable because when you hold them accountable, they get in their feelings and first thing they want to do is hit the portal.
Because it's there.
Well,
isn't that life? If something goes wrong in a marriage, a lot of marriages end because it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Coach Prime, he doesn't cuss either. You was talking about AD. We was talking about which was the AD. He said when we was talking about Kentucky, he said AD. But you're right. It was T. And then Jay said I was talking about couch coaches, and she said she's the Jalen's the couch coach. Stevenson, the head couch coach in charge, because she knows what she's talking about. and then she said, who did the introduction? Coach Washington.
Yeah, Coach Washington told me that your mom was peeping me. All right.
We live, right?
Yeah, I know we live.
Okay.
I'm just glad it ain't Sunday.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. And so
I love it.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay, so I'm trying to think. There was something else I want. Oh, do you want to talk to NFL?
We can go NFL. Let's go NFL.
How about them Cowboys?
Okay.
And we ain't gonna win another game the rest of the year, right?
Let's make okay. So Jay, get ready to get on. I know you're gonna comment. The daughter, she's a baby girl. She's a Cowboys fan as well. Okay, let me make sure I understand. I said this many times. The Niners, what the 49ers does. Listen now, what the Niners do, they win or they don't win. They don't play with my emotion. All the Cowboys do is play with y'all's emotion. That's all they do.
All they doing. Just trash, thinking it up.
I mean, all I'm saying is the 49ers.
Oh, you're right, Mr. Brown. Go ahead, baby.
What's that? What do you say?
One of the best leaders in the locker room was Ray Lewis. Yeah.
Well, Ray Lewis earned their respect. You can't just be a leader. Going back to that good subject change.
Yeah.
Because that Cowboy almost. And the thing is about it is that you have to put in the work to be a leader. You can't verbally be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I said it before, one of the great leaders that we had at University of Kentucky, you know, he played quarterback, was Ransdale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ransdale put in the work. Bill put in the work. Dollar bill, y'all.
Dollar bill.
You know, and then we fell in suit. And then on defense, we had, you know, Caldwell.
Mm-hmm.
Carmichael, guys, if you don't know him, he was so smooth. And again, another one, he was from Detroit. I love saying that. That's why he said it. And I mean, he put in work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who we got on here?
An Olympian.
I can beat him.
I doubt that.
Why do you laugh? Pretty much.
I'm gonna break you all. Coach.
Why you laugh? I mean, you could have just sat there and chill. What?
I'll get rid of you. Jason, let's talk about what y'all want for Christmas.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that all day. And then she said that she took the NFL season off because she couldn't deal with UK and Dallas Cowboys on CBS Sports. So anyway, y'all. So y'all know that I know everybody, and I am very fortunate to get the opportunity in this line of work to meet some very, very outstanding people. And so I've had Olympians on here before, and I got another Olympian. You can't. I promise you can't beat him. So he is an Olympian, and he is the owner of Prime. Is it Primetime Sport? Prime.
Well, if you put him on, you know.
I'm going to tell Primetime Scouting.
Right.
Yes.
Is he on? What we can hear him?
Coach, do a mic check.
Check 1, check 2, check 3.
Hey, I don't know who said they could beat you. It wasn't me.
I didn't even hear that. Somebody told me a joke in the background. Yeah, somebody told me a joke in the background.
Somebody was talking in the background.
Pleasure meeting you. Pleasure meeting you, sir. Pleasure meeting you. Heard a lot about you guys and what you guys are doing in Kentucky. Congratulations on your son. And oh my gosh, you guys are very inspirational. And it's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Thank you.
I already met your lovely wife already, and she knows she went viral because I saw on the game when y'all were playing the other day. You know, they showed her on the hat. Jesus.
Okay, so I gotta make a quick joke. So you know he's a Florida Gator.
Yeah. I knew that.
He's a Gator. Okay, Jay, love you. My baby said she's logging off. Love y'all. So not only is he an Olympian, he's a SEC.
Yes.
We still family because we're SEC, but he's a Florida
and we're blue.
Gator.
We're blue.
And we're blue. Yeah, absolutely. But Coach, I brought you on because we have a lot of we got a lot of kids in the portal. It was signing day today. There were a lot of kids that probably wanted to get signed that didn't get signed. They have no direction. Can you tell us what you do, the services that you provide, and give us some insight on what they could have did either way, like as far as like going in the transfer portal, not going in the transfer portal.
But also, what can they do if they didn't get? I know it's 5-part question.
Yes, it's a lot.
It's a lot. So please take your time. But I'm pretty sure you're very familiar with these type of questions.
1,000%. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I've been trying to get on the show here for about 6 months now, so I finally got the pleasure to being on the show. My name is Coach Mark Everett, 3-time Olympian, 3-time world champion, 3-time world record holder. And my company is Primetime Scouting. So people like Primetime, Dion. So I'll give you a quick background on that story. So Dion went to Florida State. I went to Florida. Yeah. I coined the name. Dion didn't. That's why you don't really hear him talk about Primetime as much. He goes by Coach Prime. But I don't mind him saying Primetime. It's just, it's really my name. So I was at a golf tournament. I saw Terrell Buckley. He walks up. I have my Primetime Scouting thing on. He goes, "Hey, that's Dion's name." I say, "You know Dion? I know him really well." I said, "Why don't you call him and tell him there's somebody with Primetime on?" He said, "I'm going to." So he comes back about 15 minutes later. He said, "Are you Mark Everett?" I go, "Yeah." He said, it was okay. I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what would you have done if he said it wasn't?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "If you would have swung at me, I would have fell down and sued you and got your NFL retirement check." So he started laughing. We chopped it up or whatever. But seriously, just going into our company. So Primetime Scouting basically is an avenue for student athletes to have an opportunity to get to college. So our three major focuses is we're the least expensive company out there. We have a money back guarantee. But what makes our company totally different than anybody else, we set our kids up with an internship. So what does that mean? So once our kids go to college, most scouting companies, they're done. Once you get in school, they're done with you. Well, we continue through that process while your kid's in school because, as you know, as a parents of an NFL player, you don't really get a lot of access to the coaches. Okay, you only have access to your kid for the most part, you know. So we still have access to the coaches. So we can talk to the coaches, find out what's going on. So an example would be your son's in school and he's not playing. And you ask him, hey, why you not playing? And he goes, the coach doesn't like me. Well, we call the school, talk to the coach, and find that your son missed 2 or 3 practices. That's why he's not playing. So we're going to get on to him to make sure he goes to practice. We're not going to call you and tell you what happened. We're going to take care of the situation. But as parents, which we are, if we find out it's a situation you need to know as a parent, we will let you know about it and, you know, kind of go from there. So we set our kids up with internships. So internships is basically when the kids are in school and they go to college, they don't understand that it's going to be life after sports. And so we make sure that our kids get knowledge and information and work ability in that field to be able to get a job when they graduate. So all of our kids are very well versed in the job market, resume building, things like that. So if your kids go home for the summertime, we set them with an internship in their major. If they stay at school, we help them with an internship in their major. So when they graduate, they have a job. So we focus on D2, D3, NIH, BCU, junior college. We do have D1 athletes, but mostly for the D1 athletes, like like your son, for example, he wouldn't have really been a good client in the aspect of your son had a bunch of offers. So if you came to us, we would have told you, hey, don't pay us for the service. Just let us help you, you know, try to figure out what school you want to go to. Now, if he wants to transfer, that's when we would kick in. Working on NILs, that's when we kick in. So talking about the transfer portal, it has totally changed the landscape of college sports. So a lot of kids who were possibly D1 athletes, Deion talks about all the time. What's happening now is, like now, the transfer portal's open. They're looking for kids in the portal. And so they're filling their teams up with portal kids that are in college, showing they can play in college, setting them up. And then they're looking for the high school kids. So what you had before is maybe 2 or 3 junior college kids they would get, and then the rest kind of high school, that type of stuff. Well, it's just the opposite. They're probably taking 2 or 3 high school kids, and then the rest are transfer kids in the portal. So what we want to make sure we explain to parents is, don't just go jumping in the portal if you don't have a school wanting you, because you lose all your leverage with the school. So what we do with our clients is if our kid goes to school, he or she doesn't like it or something changes, we go talk to the schools behind the scenes, find out who wants them. Our kids going to portal on Monday, they're out of portal. Going to portal on Friday, they're out of portal on Monday. So our kids have great opportunities to go to college and nothing misses. So a lot of kids are sitting in the portal waiting for coaches to reach out to them. No one's advocating for them. There are thousands of kids in the portal in sports all over the country. So we want to alleviate those kind of problems. The NIL has definitely changed the landscape. A lot of kids don't understand the value. The parents don't understand the value of what you bring to the program. It's millions and millions of dollars these athletes are bringing to the program, and these kids need to get a bigger piece of the pie. And if you don't know your value, you're not going to get the money. There are so many other programs they have now that NCAA has instituted. So with our company, we get a lot of information that people don't know about. So with our company, we knew about the portal. First of all, we heard about NIL. We told our clients about the NIL was coming. We told them about the portal. The third thing that the NCAA is working on, so you got to understand what's happening. The Power 5 conferences were about to start their own conference. The only power that the NCAA has over colleges is championships. If you don't comply with their rules, you can't play in a championship. So the Power 5 were about to break off and start their own conference. You need to get away from the NCAA. So to keep them in, the NCAA started with the NIL, blanket portal. But the third thing they're working on, which will completely, I don't necessarily, it will change the whole makeup of college sports. What they're proposing to do is very simply, each conference is going to be responsible for their own rules for recruiting.
Oh.
Think about what I just said.
Oh.
Each conference is going to be responsible for their own rules. ACC will be responsible for their own rules for recruiting. SEC, Pac-10, all those conferences will be their own entity to self-police themselves for their recruiting.
So that would truly mean that there's no consequence when you do something wrong, because you ain't got nobody to police you.
There you go.
But except you do something different, totally
egregious.
different.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But you got your own rule set. So the other thing that's happened, the NCAA implemented, which was awesome. When I was in school and coming up, and you guys as well, you only had 5 official visits. Okay, there's many unofficial
Yeah.
visits. Official visits means they pay for you to come. Well, the NCAA now has it where they will not only you can go to as many schools as you want to, unlimited schools, plus you can have 2 people come with you. So you can have your everything paid for plus a parent or anybody else to come with you on your recruiting trip.
Right.
When does
That's
that go
awesome.
when does that go into force?
That's now.
Oh, that's already in.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Having people come, meaning because when I
Meaning,
played in
so
the 80s,
yes,
yeah, you could actually bring up to 4 people.
I'm talking about a recruiting trip.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about my official visit. I could bring 4
Yes.
people.
Well, you were a stud, but not every school could do that. But
Right.
that was not legal what you did. So I'm gonna have to report
We
you,
always
sir.
have 4 people.
You could. There are a lot of schools that won't let you bring anybody. They want the kids to come by themselves, which is crazy for a
Wow.
17,
Now that's
18-year-old
different.
kid to go to school. But
Yeah,
now
because
you can have someone come.
Yeah, that's
But you got to
different.
know that. And if you don't ask, they won't tell you.
Well,
The other thing is, go ahead.
no. What I'm getting at is a lot of times, and I appreciate what y'all do, meaning you and your company do, because I say this all the time to Terry. If you don't know a question to ask, how can you ask
a
it?
question if you don't know
I don't know how to ask because I don't know the question to ask when I take my car to my garage, to fix it. I don't know what I'm asking. And you're
Facts.
hoping that they don't lie and move on. And then thank goodness that's what y'all do to make sure that university is not misleading that young person.
And then you have things like people will go, hey, we got 3 offers. I said, how much money they offer you? They said they don't offer any money. I said, you don't have an offer.
They
You need
haven't
money?
invested.
Yeah, they have invested. What did they offer you? Well, they're waiting. No, we find out. So if you get a letter from a school, parents send us the letter. We call the school and say, are you serious about recruiting our kid? Are you serious? And what are you offering? Okay, and we do a whole bunch of negotiating. So we negotiate the scholarships for the kids as well.
So I'm not asking you to name any names, but have you ever had a university says, I'm not obligated to respond to you? Do you tell the parent that?
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. We have some schools that's off our list. Oh, yeah, they say we don't want any of your kids. Oh, awesome. So what I do is I go behind the coach. I get in contact with the president, and I say, you're no longer on our list. He's like, what are you talking about? I say, your coach who's losing currently right now doesn't want any of our kids, our 4.0, our 3-star, 5 4-star kids. He doesn't want any recruiting coming. He's like, what? Or if that doesn't work, I go to the boosters. So I'm behind the scenes on all that. So I make sure the coach feels the effects of saying that. But what happens is typically not because of what we did, but typically a coach is fired. The new coach comes in and the people contact and say, can we get back on your list? So let me tell you what's happened since we've had this company since 2017. We've had 3 different conferences that have come to us and said, we want to pay for your service. I said, what does that mean? We only want you to send kids to our conference. I said, absolutely not. They go, why not? I said, you're paying us to send our kids there. What if that's not the best fit for our kid? Our company will never be for sale.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I kind of answered, all the questions you asked. I don't know if I covered everything.
Oh, you did. And we only threw 9 questions at you, Coach. You did a good job there, man.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mr. Brown says, do you foresee the federal government or the IRS becoming part of overseeing the 2 initiatives, NIL and the transfer portal?
1,000%. It's too much
You
money.
believe that? It's too much money.
Too much money. But it's going to be hard because you've opened up Pandora's box. So it's going to be a lot of legislation, a lot of stuff going on. So they're trying to figure it out. But right now, no. But they're trying. They're definitely trying. But don't be surprised in the upcoming years if the Power 5 still moves away. Because, again, the power the NCAA has is the championships. The only real money that the NCAA is making is basketball. That's why they call it Midnight Madness. It's basketball. They're not over the bowl games anymore. So they're losing all that bowl money that they used to get. So they can kind of pick where the kids go, teams go, and things like that. So they've kind of lost that control over that. So they're trying to figure out a way to keep that money flowing back into the NCAA.
Well, do you feel like the NCAA is going to be around in a few months, a few years? I mean, because if you truly think about it, from my perspective, what I've read and what I've heard, and please tell me if I'm off base, I feel that the SEC and Big Ten can go in together and make billions.
This is what you got. So it would work in football. It would work in basketball. But the other non-revenue sports, it wouldn't work. So the NCAA will still be in place for those other sports. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but you can see those schools pushing away from the NCAA, like the footballs and the basketball and those big Power Fives that we're referring to. Yes, 100%.
But if that happens, it's sort of like Notre Dame. Notre Dame automatically, their football program is not in a conference,
but everything else
the rest
is.
of the program is. So wouldn't that be the same thing as if the football programs go out and do their own thing? Everybody can stay with the NCAA because they're going to make billions, and now there's no middle person to take money. You know
100%. You're 100% correct. Yes, sir.
So what are the Power 5 schools? SEC,
ACC, Pac-12, maybe what, Pac-10 or what is Big Ten? What is, I don't remember the conferences.
It's the Big Ten.
The Big 12.
The only two that I look at that catches my attention from every year, SEC and Big Ten.
There you go. You got it.
I mean, I'm just sorry.
Big Ten. Is the ACC considered a Power 5?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Oregon's, whatever Oregon's in.
Oregon's now in the Big Ten.
They're in the Big Ten now.
Big Ten.
And I say that because Oregon came, UCLA came, USC came, Washington came to the Big Ten.
I got a trivia question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Yeah.
What conference is Stanford in?
The ACC.
Boom. Think about that. So my best friend JJ is the head coach of track at Stanford. His dad was Joe Clark. Lean on me. Yeah. Batman, you know. So they're in the ACC, which is crazy. So he's already talking to somebody. The volleyball team is already upset because they got to travel across country to play all these volleyball matches. So it's caused a mess. It's really caused a mess.
Absolutely. So do you foresee 2 super conferences?
Yes. SEC will grow again. SEC will grow.
They're going to get 4 more.
Yeah, 100%.
They are.
So this whole championship thing was conceived by the SEC when Alabama and Florida played each other for the SEC championship. That's when this whole thing started with conference championships. You think about it. They started this whole thing. SEC made this whole thing possible. And they already knew that they were going to do 4, and they already knew 12 was coming after they did the 4. But they're going to grow even bigger. And the fact that they're doing the games on campuses, the schools are going crazy. I mean, they're loving that. It's not at a neutral site. It's on college campuses because you already got stadiums available. So why would you not do the games on those stadiums? And then the championship games obviously will be at the Miami, Rose Bowl and things like that.
Right. And I thought that was a very good thing, Ms. Coach Bryant and also Coach E, is this. They got that scenario from women basketball. They did. Because where's the first round played? At home.
And there you go, period. And what better place to play it? I mean,
what better place to play it? You're going to sell it. And baseball does the same thing.
They just took the same thing. Yep. It just made sense.
So,
it was a financial decision.
Yeah, my follow-up question would be, is you talked about earlier that it's not a question, it's just a compliment to your company. Because everybody thinks they're D1. And I love how your company, and you made it crystal clear, okay, the whole key, unless you're going to be a specialist in something, get to college.
Period. You know what the D stands for? The D1, the D2, and D3 stands for? It's called discount.
Yes.
Discount. Our goal is to make sure our kids and families don't have these student loans because it's unnecessary. We look for people looking for us. So a lot of times these kids are barking up the wrong tree. You're looking at a school that already have 5 people in that position already. They're not looking for a 6th person. So let's look for schools who are looking for us. And now what's happening, what I was kind of alluding to before is the big schools are not looking at high school kids like they used to. They're telling us your kids have to go somewhere, ball out. So if you think you're a D1 superstar and you're not being recruited by a D1, go to a D2, ball out for a year, and take off. So one of the guys in our company, Coach Albert Ellis, played basketball, ran track at a Pitt, and walked on to the NFL and was part of North Carolina, first North Carolina team, the pro team, the Panthers. Mm-hmm. And so he has a son who was a basketball player. his son came out of North Carolina, and he wasn't really being recruited big by D1 schools, and he was really upset. So he's like, "What do I do?" I said, "Go to a junior college, all out. After that, you can go anywhere you want to." He went to Tallahassee Community College, was the #1 junior college player out of junior college. Ended up signing with Louisville, played there for 2 years. He had another year eligibility. I contacted a good friend of mine by the name of Mike Conley, who's Mike Conley Jr.'s agent and Odin's agent, who was a triple jumper at Arkansas and won the Olympic team. I said, "Does Albert Ellis III have a possibility of going to pros?" He said, "Right now, I don't see it. He needs to go to another school." He goes to Arkansas for another year. So he played 2 years at Tallahassee Community College, 2 years at Louisville, and played another year because of the COVID thing. Had another year and played a year at Arkansas, and now he's in the NBA playing the G League and living out his dreams. So there are no number of paths to go, but he was willing to listen to the advice that we gave him to move forward.
Okay, Coach. So
Uh-oh.
we're at Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Uh-oh.
And we got a lot of transfer portal kids that came through.
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't feeling none of them.
Meaning what? What do you mean? Them coming in?
I'm just saying that they're coming in and they're not like you. If they didn't play where they were before, okay, or if they played where they were before and it wasn't in the SEC, let's say they came from other conferences, it's different here in the SEC, and then they just not panning out. How is that? Why are coaches really going into the transfer portal? Because isn't there a reason why they're in the transfer portal?
Listen, you're asking a very good question. Let me tell you the #1 reason they're in the transfer portal.
Yes, sir.
Their contracts. If these coaches don't win and make a difference, look at, for example, I'm going to show you a school that made a big mistake in the transfer portal. Florida State. That coach invested in the transfer portal, and Florida State flat out sucks this year. His quarterback, trash. Hate to call him player trash, but he's not good. The team is not good.
Don't call players trash.
I'm sorry, but they're trash. I mean, this trash. But for where they were last year, being undefeated and supposedly being in the playoff for the Final Four, and then this year how they're playing is horrible. So that coach had to fire his offensive and defensive coordinator. He just hired Malzahn, who was at Auburn and down at Central Florida, whatever he was at. Now he's going to be the offensive coordinator. So that's the move. When you're under hot seat, you got to get rid of some coaches, and then you got to show you're making movement in the portal trying to get kids in. So that's what's happening. But the contracts these coaches are making are so astronomical that it's win now. So if you want to keep your job moving forward in college football in the Power 5, you better be in the top 12 at the end of the year. You better be in the playoffs. If not, you're getting fired. That's the new thing. If you're not in the top 12, you're getting fired. Not top 4, top 12. You're getting fired. You got to be in the top 12, but you're getting fired.
So what is your feeling on $20 million? Meaning,
oh my goodness, I know exactly. So ready? So listen. So first of all, he was since he was like 7th, 8th grade, he was going to LSU. Been going to LSU. And once he became eligible, they offered him $2.5 million NIL deal. So he's going to LSU, which is roughly over a 4-year deal, is like $60,000 a month. Okay, so he's going to LSU. Michigan steps up and gives him $10 million. Now he's making $209,000 a month. End of story. And that's what's happening. So a college quarterback.
I don't get it, Coach, because we don't know if your skills from high school is going to transfer to college like that.
They don't care. The alumni are excited. Michigan are putting money to the program. Tennessee is now putting together an NIL initiative that they're raising the price of the tickets by 20% to have more NIL money put in Tennessee. Look at the guys who are flipping from other schools going to Tennessee. Look at people flipping to Michigan. Look at people flipping to Oregon. Now, this is the part I'm going to tell you that I didn't know. And I just found this out maybe 3 months ago.
Okay.
So there's a kid down here by the name of Williams. They call him Hollywood, the superstar wide receiver. Alabama. Yeah. The receiver in Alabama. So his girlfriend is one of our clients. Okay. She runs track. So her dad played at Auburn and played pro football. So when she's looking to go to schools, he's like, I think it's going to be Kentucky, Texas, or Auburn, because she grew up an Auburn fan. Said, okay. So signing day, she puts on the Kentucky hat. Everybody goes crazy. But behind her, there's this thing covered up. I'm like, she ain't going to Kentucky. So all of a sudden, she goes, hold on, there's technical difficulty. She pulls out the thing and says, I'm going to Alabama. I'm like, going to Alabama? Why is she going to Alabama? So I asked her dad, I said, why is she going to Alabama? He said, Coach, she just likes Alabama. I said, something ain't right. So we go to breakfast. He says, listen, you know she's dating Ryan Williams. I said, the dude from Sayre? He goes, yeah. Ryan Williams told them, if you want me to come to school, you need to get my girlfriend to go to school there. She's getting $2,000 a month in NIL deal as a track and field athlete. So she's at Alabama. He's at Alabama. Okay. So this kid is absolutely phenomenal. They just gave him $850,000 house to just enjoy himself with. So this NIL thing has completely changed the trajectory of. Now, what they're talking about is if that coach doesn't bring in a superstar quarterback to replace Milroe, Texas say they'll double whatever NIL deal Alabama's giving them.
Wow. Can we move forward months? Okay, what is going on in April? There's something, I don't know. They kept saying that the NIL is going to be changing in April because something's about to pass, a law. Have you heard that? I've heard, like when I'm listening to ESPN, I'm listening to CNN Sports, I'm listening to Fox Sports, and they don't go into details. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Is that the profit sharing part?
Yes. Yeah, but I can't really talk about it.
Okay. So something is happening in April.
But I will promise I'll let you know before April. So you guys will know before April, but I can't really talk about it.
Okay.
But yes, there's something happening.
I'm on track.
You're 100% on track. You're 100% on track.
Right.
But you notice they ain't really talking about it, but they're not talking about it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Because he can't get any information.
I can't get no information.
No.
And then
we're the informational people.
Right. And what I'm getting at is knowing you to know you to know you. Use that can get information. I might not know it, but I know this person, that person who knows it. And and I'm going, okay, you're not. My favorite saying is all the time is, if I ask the question and somebody doesn't answer, and I'll be like, don't Ronald Reagan me. Because Ronald Reagan, when he was a president, would never answer a question. He would give you a answer. God rest his soul. I might be a negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's when people do that to me, I get irritated. Like, don't Ronald Reagan me. Just answer my question. Because I'm gonna give you a question that it's an answer. You can't go around in circles, so they just go off the board. So I am correct that something is going on in April.
100%. Okay. But you notice I didn't really say anything.
No, you didn't. You made it, and you actually leaned forward. I saw that.
You saw that. You saw the body language. Yeah, I was like, how do you know about that? Yeah, a lot of people not talking about it, but it's big. It's going to be big.
This is good. So, what happened to the 3 colleges in Florida, FSU and Miami? Has other schools outside the Sunshine State want these kids to come to schools in the North? Lamar and Derrick Henry come to mind. Like what happened? Like what happened?
Well, basically what happened is, okay, so before Saban got to Alabama, right, you had Shula. The pipeline of players weren't coming to Alabama, okay? So when Saban got there, the pipeline opened back up. So it's called the funnel of money. So let me go back to Williams, because I'll go back to your question, but let me go back to Williams. So I got sidetracked. So Williams was going to Alabama 4 or 5 times after his official visit. And I couldn't figure out why he was going back to Alabama after he already visited. You know why those kids go on unofficial visits? They get bags of money. They give them bags of money. It's legal. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Auburn bought his dad a truck and him a Hellcat. And now he just brought a Porsche SUV or sports car. They're giving them bags of money. So when you hear about a kid going back to the school over and over again, they're giving them bags of money. Back when we were in school, they might have gave a little money for the big time football players like your husband, but they would give you maybe a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or something from the school. Yeah, they're giving bags of money now.
And that's funny though, because somebody asked me what was mine, and I won't say the university, and we actually flew on a visit. They paid for it. We flew as official visit, and we were leaving. They was like, "Well, you might need some money for gas," and I said, "I flew." And he goes, "Oh, then you need more money because gas."
There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's how they did it. But you only showed up one time. You didn't go back. And so now that's the difference.
So you were a football player?
Yes.
So could you explain to the people? I've heard the term, but I'm not really sure about the term. Can you explain the term of handshakes back in the day?
Well, okay. The handshake was somebody just greeting you, and there's $300. But this is in some cases that I heard. Okay.
Yeah. Not for you. Not for you.
Yeah. It's called bags.
There you go.
Everybody carries a bag. Your bag's open. You roll it. You put it in a rubber band. You throw it in the bag. You had no idea.
Do you remember the first time that happened to you? Did it scare you?
I didn't know what. I was like, what is this?
Because it was a white guy. What did a white guy? A white guy did it, right?
I don't recall.
Okay, so for me, the first time it was a white guy. Old white guy gave me a $100 bill, and I looked at him like, why is this white guy giving me this money? So I went to my friends on the team. I said, hey, this white guy gave me $100 bills. Shut up, keep it. I'm like, what? So I learned I could put maybe $2,000 in my hand. I was good, and I only went to those boosters.
Yes, but the thing about that is because the NCAA was so adamant about don't give you nothing, don't have a job, and in the small little pennies, and they were making billions in money.
It was slavery. It was slavery.
Yeah, it really was. And people, like somebody made a comment. I said, now it's a little bit different. And they was like, well, they're on scholarship. I said, whoa. Take your car to a garage and let them fix it. The part is going to be $150 and labor is going to be $900 for labor.
Perfect.
Okay.
100%.
And that's the point of college sports. It's labor. That's why, I'm not doing a comparison, but it's a factual. There's a reason why they want you to eat a certain way. There's a reason why they want you to go to bed at a certain time, because the production and that you put in that university brings money for the new library, the science department. And every university, like you talked about before, they're saying, you better get this person into this school. Because if this person comes, Mr. Billionaire, because he can't take it with him. People would have stopped acting like you. What else they gonna do with it? They like to set and if I was that, I would do the same thing.
Well, think about it. These guys go play golf. They play golf together. They go to country clubs, and they like bragging each other. The different conferences love talking trash to the different, so the boosters do the same thing. So now they have access to the players. Yes. That's all it is. It's just access to players to come for dinner, take them out. NCAA had a rule back in the day. There was a coach in Florida named Galen Hall, okay? Yes. And he was in Florida. And there was a guy by the name of Ricky Mulberry who was about to be a first-round draft pick, ended up going to the Miami Dolphins. He's deceased now, great young man, defensive quarterback. And the team is getting ready to get on a bus to drive down to Miami to play the University of Miami. The police came to the bus and said, we're here to arrest Ricky Mulberry. And they're like, for what? He owes back child support. He owes $250. We're taking him to jail. The coach writes a check for $250. Ricky pays him back. Coach Galen Hall got fired for helping that young man out.
Yeah.
You couldn't get a ride from a coach if you're walking. The coach was not allowed. So let's imagine you got your son who's balling in Kentucky. And let's say you guys are dirt poor and you have no money, okay, before NIL. And your son has to get on TV to do an interview. You couldn't even get a suit for him. You couldn't even fly home to see your parents.
I was there. But I'll tell you the best example. I've told my son, I never forget the time at UK, and I would, there's sometimes you would be offered to come and eat a dinner. And I was like, cool. And you show up and there's 50 people there. And I'm going, what are these people doing here? And then the person would act like they knew me, like we were buddies, and it benefited them. 100%. I'm living proof on that. It's no secret. But the biggest thing is now that I guess there's a question out on the floor. But the biggest question now with me is with NIL, what is not legal?
It's not. It's not. LSU, how LSU used to pay their players back then, you know how they paid their players? Took them to the casino and told them the machines were going to hit.
Wow.
So everybody had a way of doing it. What did the Utah team do? They gave everybody a truck. Look at campuses now,
I've heard that.
and look at the football stadium, and look at the cars in the parking lot. Kids are
Yes.
living large now on the backs of people like yourselves who fought and did what you did to put them in a position to do what they're doing. So each generation supposedly gets better. So it's awesome. I like it. I think they should have put some kind of cap to a certain degree on there, some kind of way. But what's going to happen is the college football is going to be the minor league for the NFL. That's kind of what's happening. So if you see how they're moving with there's going to be a salary cap. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come into place. That's kind of tapping into what you're talking about in April.
Yeah,
That they're going to work on too.
that definitely something else. I just still have a
They
problem.
will never be a team. They'll never be a school due to death penalty. NCAA will never do it again.
Yeah.
They'll never do it again. Do you have any questions on the floor? You said somebody had a question.
Yes.
No, that was it. He was just talking about the proverbial the death penalty will never be enforced on college again. Yeah.
And look how long it took SMU to get back. Look how long it took them to get back.
This was a good one. This was it. Here it is. Since the majority of transfer portal and NIL deals are enjoyed mostly by African Americans, has there been any racial overtures regarding the two initiatives?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you got a lot of people upset about that.
Oh,
100%.
sure.
100%. That's what they're upset about, because now you have minorities getting paid.
But and that's ironic. You have minorities getting paid, but minorities are one that brought
What you say? The labor. I mean, think about the impact of a Milroe or Williams. So let's look at Williams. Williams signed with Alabama as a junior. He's coming his senior year. Alabama, Saban leaves. He opens up himself to be recruited. Auburn reaches back out. Alabama reaches back out. He was supposed to go visit Texas. The quarterback, backup quarterback, Manning said, when you come to Texas, whatever Alabama's paying, we'll pay you double. They gave him $1.7 million to come to Alabama, and they said, this the deal. You got your girlfriend in, you get 1.7, you got to come out right now. He reclassified, graduated, now he's at Alabama. That's why he's 17 in Alabama. He was not on track to graduate at Sayre at the time. They made a phone call. He's at Sayre. He's at Alabama playing. Power money.
And playing very well, Mike.
100%. But now he gets a chance to go into pros a little bit early. Great young man. Who's gonna win the Heisman?
Who should?
Who should win the Heisman, or who's going to win?
Who should and who's going to? It should be the same person.
Who should win it should be Hunter.
It should be Hunter.
Who you think gonna win?
Okay, I think Hunter's going to win.
I think Cam's going to win
it. The reason why I think Hunter's going to win it because to me, and she said what you agreed on, looks like, is the reason why I'm looking at Hunter. When I look at the Heisman, I'm at wow how well he plays both sides of the ball. I mean, there's no because here's the thing is he not AKA McCaffrey, but he plays both sides of the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, when McCaffrey was at Stanford, I mean, I look forward to watching.
He did it all. Yeah, he did it all.
God. And now Hunter is doing it all, but he's not just getting wet shoes. We eat that stuff up. He's going touchdown.
But let me ask you a question. Name a coach in college right now that would let him do that other than Coach Sanders. I'll wait.
Nobody. Because I'm gonna tell you, even on our team, what was it? It was a couple of games ago. I can't remember which game it was, and we were injured short on our running backs, and I texted Todd. I said, Todd, did your coach know you can play running back?
Yeah. Well,
I've been trying to tell him.
Well, here's the funny thing about that, and people got to understand this. One of the top running backs in Kentucky's history is Anthony White, and Anthony played in the pros, and Anthony White came up to me many times. He said, your son, and he watched Stock for 2 years. He said, that kid's a running back. And I said, no, he's not. He's a DB. He goes, his vision is something you can't teach. And he says, his explosion, like when he gets the ball, he knows how to accelerate and turn his hips and re-accelerate. And I was like, what? And so I'm all defense. Trust me. If I'm a head coach, if you was at a game and we had the ball on the offense, I would be talking to you. I wouldn't even be paying attention to what they're doing. And am I right? And so with that said and you said it right, Prime says, let the baby be the baby. Because what did they talk about in the NFL? That the NFL probably won't let him do it. Instead of letting him see if he can do it. What's it going to hurt?
Yeah.
He's already
He
getting
loves
paid.
it. He loves it. The kid loves football. He loves his girlfriend, loves to fish, loves to do TikTok videos. He doesn't drink, doesn't hang out. Huh?
We got to teach her not to show him up in public. Just don't show him up in public.
Yeah. I love that kid, man. What a great player.
He's so
he seems to be. I don't know him.
Yeah.
He seems to be a great young man.
He's phenomenal. Well, you remember when Deion brought him in, he said he'll be better than me. And we were like, what? You know, he said he would be better than me.
I said what too, with a capper.
Yeah.
Because Deion was, and he the only difference is that he doesn't talk. He doesn't say very much. He's very chill.
No. It's funny because Deion, there's two sides of Deion. There's Deion Sanders and there's Primetime. Deion is he's country shy, introverted, loves to fish, be by himself. Primetime is that theatrical commercial. Yeah. Name another coach other than Nick Saban that you see on TV doing commercials. I'll wait.
Coach.
National commercial.
No football.
Thank you. Deion and Coach.
There are no other football coaches. Deion and Coach Saban are the only two that I've seen. I haven't seen any of besides Coach K and Don Staley.
How often do you see them on commercials compared to Coach Prime and Coach Saban?
No, I see Prime and Saban all the time.
There you go.
Their commercial, we see their commercial all the time.
Right.
And you're gonna see it all through the playoffs.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. This has been great. If anybody wants to get in contact with us, www.primetimescouting.com. Reach out to us. That's our link. My email is coachmarkeverett@gmail.com. We would love to help answer all your questions.
Primetime Scouting?
Yeah, primetimescouting.com.
Okay, I'm putting it in the chat.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, I got it on there.
And my email is Coach Mark Everett, MarkEverett @gmail.com. I can't believe I got on you guys' show. I can't believe I got on your show. I can't believe I got on your show. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad you
Olympian. Come on.
I'm glad.
You're a 3-time Olympian.
Yes.
You're a world record winner. I mean, come on.
And I've never been on your show.
Drop your resume again.
I'm getting a shirt. What's that? My resume?
Drop your resume again.
Coach Mark, 3-time Olympian, 3-time world champion, 3-time world record holder.
And appreciate you not responding to that person behind me was talking about.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about, sir. I don't know. But I do want to ask you this. When we playing golf, brother? I heard you play golf.
You don't want those problems.
I do. I'm a problem child. I wake up like this. I want no problems. I want no problems.
Hey, I tell you what, all I can get you is a Nike shirt. But I will play you for your shirt.
I tell you what we'll do. I'm gonna make it easy for you. I'm gonna give you 5 aside. If you need more on the backside, let me know.
Oh, thank you. And we will definitely wear.
Yes, ma'am. Silly. Okay, Mr. Brown, one last question from Mr. Brown. He said, "Can Coach Prime coach the Cowboys?"
Yeah.
I think he's going. Where's his son going? I think he's going to Vegas.
No, if the owner of the Cowboys wasn't there, Jerry Jones, yes, but Jerry Jones is a problem.
Okay, I got a question real fast. I know we're winding this down, but
yes,
there's a difference in the NFL being a rah-rah coach.
1,000%.
Okay,
does not work.
Okay, that doesn't work in the NFL. You
Ask
can't
Nick
motivate, and that's why I don't think he would do well in the NFL. Because
he's not going to NFL. I'm telling you, he's not going. Okay. He's not bringing those. Deion's one of those coaches. He's not a coach that's going to bring those kids in and leave. And he's bringing in some studs. Now that he's got a chance to win a Heisman, Deion wants to show he can win a national championship. He got a Heisman with Hunter, which is coming.
And
Deion wants to get that. Yes.
And he's got the quarterback coming.
Yes. All Deion needs now is some big offensive linemen, big defensive linemen, and it's over with. And having one of the things that really changed his team is Warren Sapp. Bringing Warren Sapp on his staff has changed the trajectory of his team.
Now, what is number? I'm better with numbers than I am names. Number 10 for Colorado, number 14. Those kids are unbelievable too. They play
Hunter,
receivers.
Hunter's 14.
No,
And
no,
12,
Hunter's
12,
12.
12, 12.
It's
14.
14 and 10. They're
I
receivers.
think one of them is NFL player's son that you're talking
Okay.
about.
Yeah,
But I
I
can't
mean,
remember
my
the name.
point of it, not putting you on the spot, I apologize for
No.
that. But,
No, I don't
with
know the
that
name
said, but with that said, is those are kind of players that makes you go, wow. That left guard is nice for them.
Well,
And
think
that
about the
right
last
tackle.
time. Let's think about this. Before Dion got to Colorado, when's the last time Colorado was even relevant?
It was in the 80s with Stewart.
And Eric Bieniemy. There you go.
Yes.
Think about it. Since the 80s. And I love what the president of the university said. He said, we're bringing prime time in. We don't have the money,
But we're going to figure it out.
That was awesome. And did he not figure it out?
Oh. They got to figure it out.
Well, figured out when you got that offensive coordinator that been in the NFL for Colorado. What's his name? God dang it.
I know
can see
his
his
staff
name.
is all NFL people. I mean,
but not just NFL people, specialists.
Yes, that's been
I mean, because I can be sitting here and have a buddy, if Miss Coach Bryant becomes NFL head coach, she's going to bring me on. That don't mean I'm an NFL coach. I just happen, because we know they promote within. That's a fact. But he's got resume NFL helping him. And and
the money he brings to the university is incredible.
Unbelievable. So Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a decorated coach. I appreciate you coming on my show.
But I got to do this. Before I leave. I always do this. This is her show, not mine. I always sign off early. She's about to sign off. I'm really mean that. I'm honored to meet you.
Likewise.
To talk to you.
I've heard a lot about you. It's been a pleasure.
I mean, likewise.
And thank you for what you guys are doing in Kentucky. I mean, you guys are like the Nick Saban. We call you the Nick Sabans of Kentucky. Y'all don't know that, but y'all the Nick Saban family of Kentucky. Just so you know.
Thank you. But I always.
And his wife's name Terry too. Nick Saban's wife named Terry.
Yes, I knew that.
So,
because Prime says it. But I always leave early because I leave no doubt this is her show. I always appreciate my wife allowing me to be a part of this. And it's because I get to meet people like yourself and that I've watched do their thing. So God bless, be safe, Merry Christmas.
And one other thing, happy anniversary to you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I always leave by saying, go Niners.
I love it.
So,
awesome,
Coach, before we go, and I'm going to let you go, I know I've already held you too long.
No, Coach, this is awesome. I love it. Talk to me.
Has there ever been anything that you wanted to talk about publicly that you've never had a platform to say?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, you're decorated. You've had some experiences.
I'll give you this. You ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
There are a lot of track and field athletes that are on performance-enhancing drugs.
Period. Whoa.
How was that? How was that?
That's disturbing.
I ain't giving no names. I'm just
disappointing. I know. I mean, I watched who the show was on. He was just had a 30 for 30 or whatever, and he just talked about his story and about how he was falsely accused of being on PEDs.
You're talking about Butch Reynolds, Harry Reynolds.
Butch Reynolds. Yeah,
I know him very well. Yes, great guy.
Yeah, and so
crazy.
So but I guarantee it's crazy. Yeah,
it's unbelievable. It's way more than people understand.
Really.
Yeah,
and why
it's very disappointing. The money.
Why is that serious?
The money. So I grew up in the era with Ben Johnson, who was ran 979, beat Carl Lewis in '88. And I was 19 years old when I made my first Olympic team. I was a sophomore in college. And after he got tested positive, he came to Gainesville to train. And we talked about drugs and things like that. And it was just incredible. He said, Mark, without drugs, I run 10-2. I'm broke. On drugs, I run 979. I'm a millionaire. You tell me what I'm doing.
Oh, wait.
10-2, no money. 979, which was a world record at the time. Millionaire.
Yeah.
About the money. It's about the Benjamins.
But how? What is he? Okay, what is he doing now, and how has being on the pads affected him in this time in your life? In his life?
Ben, I think he's.
What type of lifestyle do they have now?
Ben is living a good lifestyle because of who he was and what he did. And he's a very charismatic individual. So he does a lot of stuff in Canada. He does stuff in Jamaica. So Ben's a nice guy. He just, came from Jamaica, poor, moved to Canada, and knew that other people were cheating and got with the wrong people, and the rest is history. And he took the whole brunt of the whole sport, which was horrible.
Whole sport. Yeah.
Yeah. When they talk about drugs and steroids, Ben Johnson's name the first come up, and he just came out with a book that's really, really good. So great guy, great individual.
Gotcha. Wow, that's big.
That was a good question.
That's heavy. Whew.
No, you weren't ready for that, were you?
I wasn't ready for that one. No, because I coach track, and I was a track. I wasn't not close to your level, but so I love track and I love watching.
But you did it a bunch of different sports. Did you play basketball?
I played basketball.
There you go. Did you play volleyball?
I played volleyball.
Could you play softball?
I could play softball.
There you go. So guess what? You were that girl.
Oh,
had you not got injured? Had you not got injured,
I'd have had a different life. Okay, what about FloJo? Oh my God, we opening up some. I don't think I want to know this answer, Mister. I think I want people that were my heroes and sheroes. I think I just want to keep my.
We are not going to talk about the dead.
Okay, good. Thank you. We're not going to talk about the dead. That's the answer. That's the answer.
But I will say this. My dad told me this. I'll leave you with this.
Okay.
If you walk like a duck and you talk like a duck, you're not a chicken.
Okay.
So however you want that to go.
However you want to take that. However you want to take it. However you want to take it. Okay.
I
so
can't tell you how many people.
I thought we was done. And I got another question. I'm about to bring one again. Okay. So who was the most competitive person you ran against?
Oh, that's easy. Myself.
Yourself.
That person I looked in the mirror every day.
The game is mental.
Baby. Yes. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God. I think that's okay. I think that's the most important part that every athlete needs to learn is just how mental being an athlete is.
Learning to deal with failure and going back out there and resetting and going again. I mean, and that's why I feel like athletes make very good employers, very good business people. We're used to dealing with failure and realizing you just can't cry and just be sad. You got to wipe those tears, go back out there, and let's go back and reset, recalibrate, and refight again. So my biggest competitor was myself. Fighting those inner demons in myself, believing in myself, knowing I could do it, and going out there willing to push and to do what I did. So 100%. I mean, most of the times I've ever lost a race, it was because I beat myself. It wasn't necessarily that someone's better than me. It was just I wasn't prepared. I didn't really mentally put myself in that space I needed to. But I mean, I won 12 national championships, in my span of career from 88 to 2000. So I was about that life. I was what you call a dog.
Do you think it's possible to get an NIL deal for a softball player? Didn't the little black girl that got $1 million to go to
to transfer to Texas, I think. Yep, that's it. Yeah, 100%. So 2 things. Let me tell you how NIL deal works.
Okay.
Either be a very, very good athlete, right? Or have an unbelievable presence on social media. If you got followers, you can get money. You don't have to be that good an athlete. Look at the girl from LSU, the gymnast. She's not made the Olympic team. Think about it. The pretty girl from LSU, the gymnast. She didn't make the Olympic team. She didn't make Living Dunn or whatever. She didn't make the Olympic team. The soccer person who's making a bunch of money is Dennis Rodman's daughter. She's a soccer player making a bunch of money in NIL. If you go to University of Texas, every offensive defensive player gets $50,000 right off the rip. 50 grand.
I'm gonna tell you right now, we was at Texas last week.
Come on.
My God, Lord.
Do they got some money? Do they got money?
Ooh, wait.
Wait until next year when the Manning kid and Euro is leaving. Watch and see what happens.
When Manning takes over as the starting quarterback.
Wait and see. It's gonna be unbelievable.
Bananas.
The media blitz he's gonna get is gonna be off the chain. You've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
And that's why they want Ryan Williams, aka Hollywood from Alabama.
Yeah.
To blow the top off him.
Yeah. So why did coaches draft track? Why did coaches draft track guys in the NFL? Keeps coming to mind because of the speed.
Speed kills. That's what the NFL is all about. It's about speed.
Because
they can teach you position, but the speed. You can't outdo speed. Now,
well,
football players in the NFL, obviously, they know angles and things like that. So it doesn't take long for defenses to figure out the nuances and things that straight ahead speed. But that breakaway speed, get behind somebody's over.
And then that's our speed. Yeah. That's over.
Bullet Bob Hayes, the first gold medalist in the Olympics and the Super Bowl. They can do anything. Throw it deep. It's over.
It's over. Yeah. Well, could he do short yardage? Who was it? Oh, I was. So I'm on the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And our first year we inducted Tyson Gay, and Tyson said he tried football. He said, but he couldn't catch a cold.
No, Tyson's a great guy, but some guys are just track people. I mean, I have to be a basketball person. Yes. Yeah, they can't do anything else.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said I couldn't. He said they tried so hard to make me to be a dual sport athlete and to play football. He said because he said he couldn't catch a cold. It was so funny.
No, you gotta be.
Dallas started that with Hayes. Oh, he said Dallas started that with Hayes. Oh yeah, Hayes was one. I could be on here. Look, I gotta go.
No.
I gotta go to the plantation in the morning.
You gotta bring me back, baby. Bring me back.
I gotta bring you back, Coach. I gotta bring you back.
I'm a whole show.
Day.
I'm a whole show, baby. I'm a whole show. I got a plethora of information. I'm here for. I wake up like this.
Yeah,
come on, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready, Coach T.
Your own whole show. Tell Coach Holloway when you see him, I ain't forgot about him either.
Absolutely.
His whole show too. So listen, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
You got it.
Don't log off. Don't log off. I'm just gonna end the stream. Everybody, thank you, Mr. Brown, Coach Jag, and anybody else that's there's a couple of y'all still left on, and anybody that comes back and watch the replay, I appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all next week. And thank y'all for coming on. Almost 2 hours, and y'all still on here. Love y'all, and see y'all later. Don't go nowhere, Coach.
Okay.